I think we're live. Here we are. Oh my God. Anyway, Merry Christmas to everyone and everyone. No Santa hat? You want me to put a Santa hat on? I do this under protest. There, it's your goddamn Santa hat right there. Don't make me run another ad. It's Christmas, so I'm in no mode. Oh my God, Supervan Gary Yavlin is here. Everyone say thank you, Gary, for the pics. They turned what would have been a pretty quick video into a fairly long one with lots of handouts. I saw Dave just say he got his pic. I know one other guy got his pic. He sent me a picture. He sent me a pic of the pic. And he was loving his too. So I think if you were close enough, you probably got your pick already. And I think if you're even just slightly outside of New England, you're probably not going to get it until like Monday or Tuesday because of the storm that went through. So on here, the storm, if that storm went up over like Nantucket or off the coast of the Cape Cod, we would have been in a blizzard. But as it was, the storm went kind of like western New York, like east of the Ohio Valley, sort of like western New York, and that was enough to put us on the warm side. So we started out in the morning on Thursday at about 28 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 32 for us is 0 Celsius for my Celsius people out there. So we're below 0 Celsius, right? We start out there. You got to get to 32 to hit 0 Celsius, freezing point of water. And we started, by the afternoon, we were like 32. So not much movement. Then all of a sudden around dinner time, 42, 46, 48, right? Starts to climb. By the next morning, and it poured all night, and I had a guy come out and clean out the gutters. They were like so clogged, but luckily, we'll talk about him in a bit. That guy was a maniac. What a psycho. Craigslist. I don't know what I'm thinking. And and so by the next day, by Friday, we had hit like 50, like 55 degrees, and 56. We might have even been flirting with 57, which is pretty warm for December. And so any snow that we had completely melted. And as soon as the rain stopped a whoosh of air. The wind direction changed from the southeast to the southwest, which usually isn't that bad for us. You know, that's usually a warmer thing, but it was literally ice cold in like Texas. It was colder in Houston than it was in Montreal by like 30 degrees. So we had a big change in the wind, and the winds really started to ramp up. And believe it or not, the winds were so strong that even with all that rain, it just evaporated all the water very quickly. And we didn't really have a freeze. You know, it didn't really happen. So, you know, we sort of lucked out. But thank God, all of my gutters would have been like ice-filled, you know, like rock-solid ice bathtubs, right? They would have just completely filled up with water. It would have flash froze, and that, you know, that would have been the end of that. So, really happy about I got 7 of the picks out. I got 4 out on Thursday and 3 out on Friday. And I didn't get any out today because I just didn't have the time for it. So, it was in the 20s here in Canada, Central Florida. I thought you said Canada. Yeah. Yeah, so they must have been out with the water, right, hosing down the citrus, because they right, you'll ruin, you have to cover them. Once you get below like freezing in Florida, they go out with they spray all the citrus down with water and let the water freeze on top of it. It actually acts as a 32 degree casing. Actually, encapsulates the oranges so that they don't get frostbitten, I guess, right? That's what would destroy it. So, anyway, I love I was loving the response to the picks. I do have I have 6 left. I have 6 left to send out. One of the remaining 6 has sent me their address. The remaining 5, every contest, it's like, why do you enter contests? But I'm going to give, it's a very busy week. So I'm giving people a lot of leeway. Basically, if I don't get, addresses out of somebody, and I know one other person sent me their address today, but if I don't get, I think the guy with the purple one, I think if I don't get addresses out of people and say, I'll give them 30 days, then we'll just do a runoff. And I'm not doing the contest again. I'll just use a random number generator to just pick 3 more, or 4 more people, however many picks are left. But I hate like just letting that matzo ball sit out there like that, I'm taking the hat off. I am like sweating with this friggin' hat on. Oh, God. What's that, Hattie? It's slithering for you. Oh, my God. The hat does match the SG. I'm going red, though. I decided to go with a red guitar. So let me tell you about my god-awful, shitty, terrible week. And Merry Christmas. I basically, as a lot of you know, was like super sick. Like you could hear it in that winners video. I'm much better now. You could hear me in that the pick winners video, just how nasty, God, I sounded. But that's, that's sort of, over. And what's that, Gary? Is it ad time? Yeah, no, I was really sick for like 2 weeks, You get We were promised ads. Oh, you're going to get ads. So I think I had it worse than my wife. My wife had cold and, all that, and I had it. But then my son got sick, and his fever was like 103, which is, not going to lie, that was frighteningly high. And he started to get like a pretty severe rash, like on his face, on his hands. We were like, oh man. So we called the doctor. Doctor couldn't call us back. We got called back from a nurse. We got the total blow off. She was like, oh yeah, lots of stuff is going around. And I said, listen, if this isn't better by tomorrow, I'm taking you to a walking clinic. And the next day, he was worse. And I said, okay, we're going. And of course, I had to wait for that ding-dong to finish the goddamn gutters. I'll talk about him in a bit. So we, finally, the gutter guy was out of here, and I took him over to the walk-in clinic, and the doctor was like, oh, no, this is a pretty serious viral infection. This is like the worst I've ever seen. And I was like, oh, no. And so he's like, but it's viral. There's not a lot you can do. But he gave him antibiotics just so, while he's vulnerable with the virus, that he can't get like another bacterial infection because you're so weakened by the virus. So he's been taking antibiotics just to like keep that in check. But his mouth and throat are so damn sore, he can't eat or swallow anything. So he's down to, I'm running over and buying him like shakes from like Orange Leaf. He's pretty much at a liquid diet, and I'm getting him, PB&J shakes. So it has some peanut butter in it, like real peanut butter. They actually scoop peanut butter in it and make it. So, it's sad to say, Christmas for us is postponed. We are not going to open up presents next week. Tomorrow, we are going to open them up a week from tomorrow, because they say the virus, and he even said today, he goes, I think my face is looking better. And I said, I agree. And he's had it for about a week now, and we're just he can't have anything warm, he can't have anything hot. He could have ice cream if we let it soften enough, But I mean, the dude is in misery. I mean, just absolutely miserable. And there's really not much you can do other than just wait it out. So it's like, it's just a matter of time. And so what we made the determination, my dad is, turning 89. My mom is like in her mid 80s. She's, I think, 5 years younger than my dad. So 84. And, they were like, we don't want to risk it. And we were like, we agree. We don't want you to risk it either. So they're not going to come over tomorrow. We're going to take we bought a tenderloin. I think we're just going to freeze it and just thaw it out next weekend. Everything is literally going to be delayed a week. Because you know what? What are we going to sit down there and open presents while he's up there in bed? That sucks. Nobody wants to go through that. So we were like, you know what? The 25th, the 31st, same thing. What do we care, right? So we get to keep the tree up for another week, the presents out for another week. If he's feeling better midweek, we'll do it whenever he's feeling better. But right now, he is in rough shape. I mean, I could not believe how bad he started turning. Like his mouth and lips just turned so red from the virus. I was like, oh my God, this poor dude, And so we're just going to play it safe, It's like, why risk getting elderly people sick with what appears to be, an extremely horrible virus to catch. And I think the only reason why my wife and I, because we're around him going, I'm feeling his head, I'm like, oh, let me see what's going on here. The only thing that probably saved me is that I was coming through a cold, and I was at the back end of it. I probably had my white blood cell count was probably through the roof, right? And same with hers. So I think we were sort of like, kind of, my daughter wasn't really around him. She's been sort of, out of the house and shopping and staying in her room. So luckily, nobody else seems to have caught this. And he's just got to wait it out. But he is pretty miserable. And my heart breaks for the dude. And we've just been running out and buying smoothie after. I'm down like, $35 in smoothies. But what are you going to do? And so I just, we had another Christmas like this. I think it was like Christmas, I guess that would have been Christmas 09, maybe? 08 or 09, where they both had the flu, both the kids. We were fine, my wife and I were fine, but both the kids had been really sick, high fevers, really nasty, and we kept it quiet, didn't have anybody over, and we opened our gifts and called it a day. I told they were like, well, we'll come by tomorrow and drop off the gifts. I'm like, why bother? We're not opening them. Just hold up. Don't even come over here. Just wait until he's doing better, and then come over. So it's been a tough week. I really, my heart breaks for the kid, because nobody needs that garbage, especially around Christmas. It's like he was trying to go out and do all the stuff with his friends, and I think he just picked it up at like Legacy Place. He was over at like the mall and somehow got it. And the thing that's crazy is that even though he had a fever, he insisted on going to school, but he wore a mask. He's like, listen, I know I'm sick, I just want to wear a mask. But there was a talent show that night, and he had been rehearsing here, and I gave him that Squire Telly to use, and he was using this little Fender Mustang. I upgraded him, tiny little amp. I upgraded him to a Boss Katana. I said, I got a Katana you can take and use for this. And they're all jamming, and they're all like, oh man, I was so psyched. And he missed the talent show. And they won the talent show. I was like, my wife came back to me, she goes, they won. I'm like, I don't know to be happy or sad. Like, it's like, I'm happy that they won the talent show, and I'm just so bummed that Ben couldn't be a part of it. It's like, so we'll know real quick if there's an outbreak of a virus at school. So anyway, see, exactly. I can wait another week before I open the double neck. I am. We're putting everything off. Hold on. Not fully over yet. A little bit. It's just my lungs. Calm down. What's up, Mesa Guitar Guy? Oh my God, the guy doing the gutters, man. You have a problem when the guy shows up in like a 1994 Toyota Celica with the ladders, hanging off both ends of the front, like tied down hard to the roof. Okay. Oh my God, that dude was a maniac. And then he's like, at one point, he took the downspout comes down, then it goes back and goes on the wall. He takes it down. It's full. He throws it to the ground. He's like, see that, dude? Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, uh-huh. And he gets down. He goes, oh, it's too in the bottom. It's too crushed down. You gotta have this out so the leaves can flow through. Anybody want to guess what happened? Yeah. He got back up there on the ladder, and now he can't get the goddamn thing back in because he flared out the bottom. Just leave it alone, dummy. And I was like, dude, I think he's like, shut up! I know what I'm doing. I'm like, okay. And then at one point he goes, you know, I'm a gutter cleaner, not a gutter repairman. I go, it wasn't broke when you got here, bro. Like this dude. I'm trying not to crack the shit out of you with this pipe I'm holding in my hand, but it's taking every fiber in my being. Just an absolute moron. So, but better him than me going up on that ladder. And I will say, he did clear him out. He did get him out. I had 2 downspouts that were completely clogged. And without him going up there and clearing those out, I would have been, I would have been, you know, in big trouble, and I didn't want to climb up there. It's easier to just belt that dude in the head on the ground than climb up that ladder and clean my gutters. So, anyway, he did get it done. And in fact, he even did the side gutter and everything. Yeah, I got it. I'll do it all. And I paid him, and he was all happy. And he went out of here. And I was like, yeah. He was like, you got to do one on the front. Yeah, maybe I'll have you back in the spring. You fucking asshole. Don't count on it. What a maniac. Yeah, I bet he breaks into your house for a few days. Oh, I wish he would. I got a little surprise. Oh my God, this dude. What a maniac. The good thing is that the gutters were cleared out. And, you know, all that rain came. And it rained. It poured, man. If I didn't have that, I was worried that, you know, that, and then the water is literally falling over the edge of the gutter down to the ground like a waterfall. That's a lot of water concentrated in one place, and it's dropping. It's like a 20-foot drop. So when it hits the ground, it pounds the ground and like sinks into the ground. Well, you will literally, like a jackhammer, and it's like a constant stream, like hammer the water down into the ground right next to the foundation because it's coming off the gutter. So, you know, as much as I hate to admit it, that, you know, he did what I needed to get done, you know, but my God, what a psycho. What a friggin' psycho. I swear to God, that dude was living out of his car. Yeah, he did say that. He goes, people are always like, where's your truck? He's like, I got a truck, but I need work on it. I'm like, you know, his attitude changed with me when I go, so, because he goes, oh yeah, I'm in Rosendale. I said, so you live in Rossie? And he goes, no, I'm from Hyde Park. I said, yeah, same here. I grew up on Chesterfield Street. He goes, oh, no way. Yeah, I was from Pine Lane over. Yeah, I know. We're over next to St. Anne's. That's where I went to school. No way! That's where my dad went to school. He had a little bit of a change in that and an attitude when he found out I was from the same neighborhood of his dad. He's like, yeah, my dad's dead now. I'm like, did he fucking kill himself? Fucking dealing with you, you maniac? Oh. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Oh, I can have a mean streak. You start ask Glenn Fricker. You start yapping back at me. It's like, you know, I grew up in the city. I'm gonna give you 2 seconds to like change your attitude. Oh yeah, I grew up in Hyde Park, or as we used to say, High Park. Hyde Park, West Roxbury, Rosie, Dorchester, down there in Dort. Anyway, that was my eventful week leading up to what will not be Christmas. Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. So, how about you guys? How was your week? You came for the ads? Well, I mean, I don't want to disappoint. Nick says, week was good. Been off work, down visiting my mom since Tuesday. That sounds great. You know, never been to Beantown. Hope to someday. You know, it's a beautiful city, especially in the spring and the fall. Really good. The summer's really hot and the winter's really cold. But the spring and the fall, the city is just gorgeous. It really is. Oh, Ogre Lord, thank you. Oh, buy your son a smoothie on me. I will, man. I guarantee you I will spend that on a smoothie for Ben. Because that's really all he can consume right now. I absolutely will. And, you know, the 10 will cover it. I think they're $6.99. What's the temperature in Boston? Oh, -2 with the wind chill. That's probably about right for us. We're at, like, I think 13 is the actual air temperature. Yeah, 13 is the air temperature, but I don't know what it is with the wind chill. You know, I always thought that wind chill was just made up crap anyway. Just, you know, just tell me what the temperature is. You know. Yeah, half the year the weather sucks and the other half the weather's great. That sounds about right. You know, son came home from college, been having a blast. That's good. Yeah, my daughter's home from college right now. Same thing. In fact, she's home until, they don't go back until the first week in February. So that's always great. You know, 14 in Louisville. Yeah, there was, at a point the other day, I have a friend who lives outside of Houston. He sent me a pic, because he was originally from Southern California. And he sent me a pic. He's like, it's 14 degrees out. He goes, he's never had that, never experienced that temperature. I sent him a pic of my thermometer. I go, we're 56. He's like, how is that even possible? I go, I told you, we have swapped, we have swapped climates. You know, you went from California to a much nicer one, and suddenly Boston is, because in the spring, he couldn't get out of the humidity, and I was dry, bone dry all spring. And I said, we're like, you know, Southern California, like, it's warm, but it's very dry, you know. I know. Well, the Patriots, you know what happened today? I don't know that the Patriots choked today, because they had that nice little run. I think that ball was so hard. It was like a friggin', no one could kick it through the uprights, right? It was just no one could catch the ball, hold the ball. It was just one of those things where the ball is, you know, it's hard to run around. I think we hit a high today of like 15. And, you know, when it's that cold, that ball is like cement, right? It's like concrete, you know? Exactly. Stop licking doorknobs. What's up, Dwight Bailey, Ed Axman, Joe, seeing everybody, Ben Coombs. 48 there in Boynton Beach. Yeah, that's cold. Well, Eagles just lost. Uh-oh. Oh, no. The Giants had a win, then they lost. Yeah, that's called snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. Rick Beato said it was 5 degrees in Atlanta. I believe it. I think that that might have been with the wind chill, but yeah, what happened is a big bowling ball of cold air rolled down into the middle of the country, but it displaced warm air, and that's what came up with us, right? So it's like here comes this cold air down, it knocks all this warm air up, and of course you've got the counterclockwise propeller of that low running up there, just, you know, dragging the air up, dragging the cold air down and dragging the warm air up. Big yin-yang going on. And it literally was warmer in Montreal than it was in Houston. I mean, Cats and dogs living together. Yeah, -30 got dangerously cold. In fact, one of the football games was delayed, right? Because they had rolling blackouts because they didn't have enough electricity to service everybody. And so they had to wait. They had to delay the game an hour for the rolling blackouts. It was like such a strain on the system. That's more of a summer thing usually than a winter thing, but not when you're at like -20 degrees. You know, you always end up smoking at 4:21 because you don't get started till 4:20. Yeah, you know, you set the alarm for 4:19. Yeah, was it Tennessee that was delayed? Yeah. Now you got to walk the dog in the cold. That's always tough. Luckily, our cats don't need to be walked, and they don't seem to really like the cold snow. You know, your car is encased in almost a half-inch of ice. Jesus, that's not good. Nothing it can cause damage like friggin' ice because it's just so heavy. Win more from you than the frosty, busty weather girls. Yeah, but it's not as much eye candy. I got to say that there's a one TV station here. I think big boobs is pretty much a requirement to getting the job. You say all the brothers from Good Will Hunting with a wicked Boston accent. Marky, Ricky, Danny, Terry, Mikey, Davey, Timmy, Tommy, Joey, Robbie, Johnny, and of course Brian. But of course it'd be more like Fitzy, you know, Fitzy, Dodo, Meathead, Stony. No one uses their real name. Oh yeah, don't forget Sully. Yeah, Sully. Fitzy, Sully, Mac. Broken down, dirty, dressed in rags. Merry Christmas, Roy that boy. These names. Merry Christmas, Josh. Age-old question, is Die Hard a Christmas movie? I never thought of it as a Christmas movie. I mean, it takes place around Christmas, but I don't think of it as a Christmas movie. I forgot how brutal Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer is, you know. Between the just callousness of everybody against the boy who is different, the reindeer that's different, right? To the, like, I mean, it's a pretty cruel, right? What they do to Bumble, they tear all his teeth out. Like, we know you need that to eat and survive, but we're just going to rip these out. I found Bumble to be a very sympathetic character. good. There it is. Ba-da-da-da. Yep, exactly. Rudolph ends up on the island of misfit toys. You know, it's a Yukon Cornelius. You want me to break out the Strat? I can break out the Strat. The only thing about the Strat is that it's a little noisy. That's why I've been playing the Kramer, because it's got a little single coil noise. In fact, you know, maybe I won't, because I just think this it really is. Because listen, like when I go to, oh, do I have it here? Oh wait, I got to be on the right pickup. Get ready for that nonstop. That's single coil. Regular, single coil. Regular, single coil. Humbucker, single coil. You know? That's why I avoided the Strat tonight, because I just it's noisy. But you know what? Someone just said the EVH, that is red. So let's hold on, let me just put that there. Though I do like this Kramer. I'm playing this a lot. We gotta go right here. Here we go. Oy. It's probably wicked out of tune. If I plugged it in. Pro tip: plug your guitar in. What's the chances? Not bad. Not pretty bad. Yeah, this is the I think they call it Ferrari red. No relation. They're like, it's Ferrari red, but we don't want to pay Ferrari any money. Winter Warlock is Santa Claus is coming to town. Put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking across the floor. You put one foot in front of the other, and soon you'll be walking out that door. Bow, bow, bow. Exactly. It's Ferrari red. Yeah, the Bumble. Bumbles bounce. Yeah, well, they also live off of meat, and you just ripped all his teeth out. Ah. Well, his neck is so much smaller. Grandma got run over by a reindeer. You know, my parents were at a dinner one time, and I forget if it was Grandma got run over by a reindeer or if it was all I want for Christmas is my 2 front teeth. I forget which one it was. It might have been Grandma got run over by a reindeer. But they were with this guy. They were sitting next to this guy who wrote the song. And they were like, you know, can you make any money off that? He goes, yeah, I pull in about, and this was probably in like 1978 or 80. And he said, yeah, I pull in about 12 grand a year. Just from the song, about 12,000 bucks. Just from the royalties of that song. Which is a nice little payday at the end of the year. Oh, Gary, thank you so much, man. I swear I will spend it all on smoothies for Ben. The poor dude, he cannot consume anything solid or anything hot. In fact, the worst advice was that when he started coming down with it, you know, and it looked like he was having a breakout on his face, I was like, well, you should just take a shower. But the doctor was like, that was like the worst thing because you're just spreading, you're aggravating it and you're like spreading it. And, you know, it starts to become, it's not a bacterial infection, but it can become a bacterial infection. So again, just bad advice. So he's just trying to get through these. I think he's going to see a big change tomorrow, I feel, because he already started to notice it, you know, around his mouth and face tonight. He said he's doing better. And again, like the doc said, there's nothing you can do. You're just waiting this out. And he goes, it's going to be about a week to 10 days. We're like, all right. Yeah, they had, what did they have? The Christmas is canceled or something like that. What's that one? The Year Without a Christmas? That's a real bad. Is that the Heat Miser? All right, Cold Meister, Heat Miser. I'm Mr. Heat Miser. All right, The absolute worst one is, was it Rudolph's Shiny New Year? That is just bafflingly bad. Like, what am I looking at? What am I watching right now? Like, so bad. So thank you, Gary. That is very, very much appreciated. You know, I know when he can finally eat, he's going to be starving. I told him, anything you want, man. We were trying to run out and get him like a video game or something just to cheer him up, you know. And, but there's no cheering him up. The dude is just miserable. You know, it's so horrible. Like, there's nothing worse than being really sick around Christmas. I was really sick, I think, around Thanksgiving one year. In fact, that time I was sick. I was so like, I think I had like a fever. I was like delirious. I had one of those like vivid dreams, like a waking dream, right? Where I had in the dream, which I don't realize is going on, my mother like comes up and comes into my room and basically like goes, you know, everybody's here and like you're not coming downstairs and you're not like chewing me out for, and I'm like, I'm sick, right? And she's like, yeah, well, you know, and all this stuff, and she like slams the door behind her, walk out, and I'm trying to get up off the pillow and I can't get off the bed. I'm like paralyzed. And I'm going like, I can't even get out. Ah! And I wake up. And it's dark out. Of course, in the dream, it's light out. It's dark out. I'm like, oh, wait. Oh, geez, that was a dream. That never even happened. Like, it was so real. It was so real. It's like I could not believe that, you know, that it wasn't real. It took me a second to sort of process what had just happened, you know? I was probably really, I probably had a fever. You know, I was probably like just out of it and like really like delirious. And so I have this very vivid dream that like, I think it was Thanksgiving. Oh my God, I had a migraine one Christmas. God, I was miserable. We showed up so late and they were like, why are you so late? I'm like, I had a migraine. That was probably in the 90s. It was real bad. Did anybody see the, I don't even know the name of it, but it's like a murder, like whodunit. And it's like there is a script, but only really like one or two people in the like know the script. And it was like, it was Will Arnett was the main guy, and he plays like the detective, and they have detective trainees, and one of them is like, you know, Maya Rudolph, you know, and the other one is I forget, and I think it's Sean Hayes is the dead Santa, and they're trying to find out who killed Santa. And the funny thing is that it's all sort of improvised for every one of a cast member. He's setting them up, you know, and giving them the, you know, and all that. And oh my God, that was actually really funny. Yeah, Will Arnett was the main character. And then they bring in a new trainee. It's like Pete Davidson. He walks in and sees everyone. He bursts into laughter. He's like, oh my God. Because they don't even know, right? They don't even know who's there. So like at one point, like Maya Rudolph walks, like pulls the beard off of Santa, and she sees it's Sean Hayes, and she like screams, ah! She's like laughing. Oh, that was good. We saw that recently. That was really funny. Oh yeah, all the Floyd lyrics, yeah. I had a fever. That's why you hate sleep, yeah. Just avoid it. What did you get for Christmas, Santa from Boston? Well, I don't know. I think I got a new chair. Box looks about the size of a chair. Remember I told you that my wife is particularly bad at getting me Christmas gifts? And it happened again. She was like, so what do you want for Christmas? And I was like, you know, I don't know. I said, I worry, you know. And I said, you know, you could just go to Harbor Freight and, you know, just, I swear to God, you could buy a screwdriver set and I'd be happy with it, because you can't have enough screwdrivers, you know, and all this stuff. And then I said, you know, I could use a pole saw, but I don't want you to get that because I need a very specific one. I want like an electric one, and I need one with a really long extension because the branches we have are pretty far away from the house, and I just want to lean out like the attic window, and I don't even want to have to saw it. I want like an electric one. Any guesses on what showed up under the Christmas tree? Any guesses at all? It was a pole saw. I'm looking at it, I'm going, oh my God, did you get me a pole saw? She goes, you said you wanted a pole saw. I was like, she goes, you said you needed a pole saw. I said, you literally tuned me out that fast. I said, I need a pole saw, but I need a very specific one. You should not get me one. I went on this whole thing about how you shouldn't buy me one. She goes, oh, I don't know. I just heard, I don't want a pulse. I need a pulse off. She returned it already. She already returned it. You ever go to the Greek restaurant at the airport in your town? Yes. God, I love that place. The restaurant at the airport, that restaurant's really good. They do like a family meal deal that's outstanding. It used to be better. About 2 years ago, they changed it to, it's not quite the same deal that it used to be, but it's still probably the best deal in food in town. And the funny thing is we tried the Feisty Greek, but not as, it's not as good. It's not as good as the other place. The place at the airport is better flavored, better everything across the board, you know. Although a guy in front of me in line in there one time said he got a cheeseburger sub plain, and I was like, dude, this place has such amazing food. You're ordering a plain cheeseburger sub. No, that place is really good. We love that place. Their desserts, I think, are a little pricey. You know, I think that's where they really cash in. But that family meal deal, damn, that is good. That is really good. You know. I know, why not just get a cheeseburger? Well, not only that, but it's like you're at a place that serves the most amazing, like, you know, chicken kebabs and lamb kebabs, and even their pizza is pretty good. You know what I'm saying? It's like the place has, you know, they make a tzatziki dip that's outstanding. They have they make a lemon chicken rice soup that is just, you know, when I was really sick, I went there and got that. I was just buying soup. I went there for a round of soup, about 2 of them. Oh my God, it's the best. It's so good. You know, it's like their food is outstanding. It's like, well, you having this guy make you a cheeseburger sub? It's like, I don't know, feels like a waste. Why not just order the chicken fingers, bro? You want to get a gyro. So I talked to somebody who was from, God, this is stuck in my foot here. I was hanging out with Martin Miller, and his girlfriend, Martina, is actually, I don't think she's from Greece. I think she's from near Greece, but I asked her, I said, so how do you pronounce we call them gyros. She goes, gyro. I was like, okay. But when you say that around here, they're like, what? More like, what? What? Gyro. You mean gyro? Yes. I trust her. She seemed to know. I want to make digital music. What would be my good first synth or audio program? That's a great question. I would say you don't really need an audio program. You could just get like Reaper. That's a really good VST host. It does a really good job hosting VSTs. And quite frankly, it's free as long as you're willing to put up with the nag screen. If you don't want the nag screen, it's like $70 or $60 to buy that program. I think Reaper's the best value on the audio market. That's to host, that right? That's where you put the synth. That's where you add the synth. If you really want like a good synth, I don't know how cheap it is, but I think Pigments by Arturia is really good. That's like a really, really good synth. It has like 5 different types of synthesis built in, and I just think it sounds amazing. I think most of the products, if not all of the products by Yuhi is really good. If you had to choose one product from Yuhi, that's a U-HE, I'd go with Zebra, or as some would say, Zebra. That's a really, really good program as well. Outstanding. You know. Yeah, Cakewalk is pretty good too, and it does have a really good VST holder. They're less competent with audio effects. It takes a little bit more work to get an automatic stereo bus going out from a mono bus going in, whereas Reaper, it just does it. You don't even have to think about it. Just add the effect and it's instantly stereo. That's the one annoying thing about Cakewalk. It's almost a little too powerful in that you have to set the routes up. But you won't have that with the synth. The synth will just work and sound stereo. That's not going to be a problem, right? The synthesizers work. Oh, it's the audio effects that piss me off in Cakewalk. They might have fixed it by now. I haven't used Cakewalk in a long time. I've pretty much gone to Reaper about 8 years ago and never looked back. Yeah, Diva's really good. The problem with Diva is it's a bit of a resource hog. I think Zebra and Hive, or Hive 2, I think is out now, and Zebra 2, I think is out now. I think those are much lower CPU usage than that. The best synth, by far, it's not even close, I think is Omnisphere. It's just incredible. But it's also like the most expensive. It's like ridiculous. It's like a $500 synth. You're in hardware territory by then. I think Zebra and, Hive and, Pigments are all like 99 to 199, maybe 299 tops. I think a lot of them are around 99, 150. So Pigment sounds amazing, but it's all over the place. It's a little bit of analog. It's got some, sample splicing. It can do additive. It can do. It's of course massive wavetable. It started out as a wavetable synthesizer. A Diva does sound really good. My only concern is that Diva's a bit of a resource hog. You better have a strong computer because it does a really good emulation of that analog. And the better the emulation, the more it's going to rip through your processor. So. You're afraid of Omnisphere? Yeah, I never come back. Oh, you can get lost in Omnisphere. It's huge. It's got like 30,000 patches. You could hear one a day every second. You could hear one per second, and you wouldn't go through all of them in a lifetime. Yeah, Pigments does granular too. No, Pigments. So Pigments 1 was like meh. Pigments 2 was like meh. Pigments 3 was like, oh wow, this is actually pretty good. 3.5, I was like, wow. And now they just came out with 4.0. And 4.0 was more of a facelift than an under the hood, but even still, I think it sounds really good. I think Pigment sounds amazing. Really good. And then there's the, I don't think they're selling them separately, though, the Korg stuff. Okay, so Gary said he just got a free up, so that was an update free. So which version did you buy, Gary? Did you buy in at 1? Did you buy in at 2? Did you buy in at 3? I'd be curious to know where you bought. Which point did you buy in to be able to get a free update to 4? Right. In other words, can you buy in at 1 and get 4 as a free update, or did you have to buy in at like 2 or 3 or even 3.5 to get to the 4 update for free? What's your opinion on putting ketchup on a hot dog? You're dead to me. Dead. You ever put ketchup on a hot dog in front of me, and you will instantly die in my eyes. There's only 2 things that you can put on a hot dog. Mustard and onions, maybe sauerkraut. Certainly the Chicago dog is amazing. A chili dog is pretty good. But ketchup is an abomination on pretty much everything but French fries. You know, Chicago, probably the best recipe for a hot dog is the Chicago dog. I mean, how do you beat? I mean, the sport peppers, the celery salt. I mean, oh my God, it's so good. You know, the bright green relish, just everything about it. The Chicago hot dog is a masterpiece. The poppy seed bun, I mean, really, it really is a masterpiece. Yeah, so other people are only sauerkraut and mustard, right? I think in America it's more onions and mustard. Have a good one, Harley. You know, I personally, I don't mind green, like a sweet relish on a hot dog. Like, so mustard, onions, and relish, right? The relish to sort of like break it up a little bit, give it a little bit of sweetness. But I can't do ketchup. Ketchup just doesn't work for me, man. Can't do it. You know, save the ketchup for the French fries. Yeah, chili cheese is really good. In fact, if you're going to do chili and cheese in a hot dog, though, you got to go pretzel bun. I'm telling you right now, in bacon. A little chili, a little cheese, a little bacon, a little pretzel bun. I'm telling you, that's a combo that works. Yeah, my kids love pineapple on a pizza, but I can't stand it. Can't stand ya. Oh, so if you bought Pigments in 2018, you know what? That might have been version 1. You know, 2 at the latest. But I'm feeling like that might have even been 1. Pigments hasn't been around that long. Onions are okay. Sauerkraut is fun. The thing is that sauerkraut is not as readily available around here, you know, as onions are. Onions are everywhere. Sauerkraut, not so much. Yeah, we don't do mayo on the fries around here too much, not really. If we do mayo, it's almost certainly mixed with like ketchup and like sriracha. Or like it's mixed with like ketchup and something else, right? It's almost like a blend, right? So ketchup and some spice, you know, some spices they'll throw in there, like Old Bay, right? So like Old Bay seasoning, ketchup and mustard. I mean, ketchup and mayo, and that'll make up like a dipping sauce. Pizza's worthless without pineapple on it? How dare you? Pizza with pineapple on it is an abomination. It's an affront to all mankind. Pretty much any fruit on a pizza, except maybe figs. You can get like a fig and prosciutto pizza with, you know, some nice, you know, what I want to call that, like Parmesan, like flakes. Or is it Parmesan? I'm trying to think now. You know, they make like a fig, not a fig jam, but sometimes they'll do a very thinly sliced fig and like I guess it's like a pancetta or something like that, right? It's like an Italian bacon that's very thin. I'm telling you, man, it works. That works. I had a taco pizza, and I loved it, but my wife hated it because it had jalapenos on it. And when you cook the jalapenos in the with the cheese, the seed oil, the capsaicin really gets out into the oil. So I don't mind the heat. I thought it was fine, but she couldn't stand it. She's like, "Oh God, this pizza is so hot. I can't eat it." She had like one slice and was like regretting it. Yeah, I have a tenderloin. I got $120 friggin' loin over in the refrigerator over here. I got to. We're probably going to push that off until. I'm probably going to throw it in the freezer and just let it chill for a couple of days. I'll thaw it out in a couple of days because I don't want to. I don't want to blow a $120 roast by just letting it sit out in the. I have to check the expiration of the freeze by date, but that meat doesn't last very long, even in refrigerated conditions. You really got to freeze it if you don't want it to go bad. So I throw it in the freezer for just a couple of days, and then thaw it out at the week's end for the weekend. Next week we're talking. We could hit 58, 60 degrees. We're having another big blast from the south. 120, so 8 ounces. Actually, we bought the biggest one. The beef prices were down. I tell you that, I went and got gas the other day. Gas prices were way down too. I'll take it. I've also started to notice, and it's probably because we're just getting so close to Christmas, now that it's on us, Guitar Center's been slashing prices on guitars, like all the used guitars. Because, they were like, will you pay this much? And they found out, no, you won't. So, we're talking, these are guitars that when they were, a year ago, or even let's say 18 months ago, they wanted $14.99, $15.99. Well, now they want $18.99 and $19.99, and people are balking at it. They're like, I'm not paying that for that. I mean, just like literally a year ago, the same exact guitar, built in the same year, right? We're not talking a brand new guitar. We're talking like a 2016, Les Paul, right? And a year ago, you wanted, 14, 15, 16.99, and now you want 18, 19.99, 20.99. People balked at it. They were like, no, I'm not going to pay it. You're starting to see those prices come out. They're all getting slashed because they're like, yeah. All right, maybe you won't pay that. $2.96 a gallon, yeah, in Florida. I was paying, I think, around $3 something for regular, and like the real gank though was premium. The premium was at like $3.79. It was like 70 cents more than the regular. That is a bit of a beat down, the premium, which 2 of our cars take premium and 1 of them takes regular. Sous vide the beef for a week. I don't know if you can do that. They say if you don't have it hot enough, it'll turn putrid, right? It won't be hot enough for it to stave off bacterial growth, and then it gets crazy. Right, runs out of control, spins out of control. You open it up and it's like a corpse. Prices are insane. Yeah, you know what? Prices tend to go up and go down. They, like any retail, they'll say, "Would you pay this?" When they find out you won't, they back off because they want to make the sale. It's literally that simple. Just got an email for 30% off at Fender. Wow, that's really good. But is that, I wonder if that's 30% off of retail or off of list. They're kind of weird like that. Normally 25% off. Now it's only 30. Now it's 30% off. It's like, yeah, but really it's like 5% difference from what it normally is. you know how that goes. Yeah, 2 Carolina Reaper peppers. So they do that. We have a place near us. We have a Dave's Hot Chicken. And they have, like mild, hot, and wild. And then they have Reaper, which is their most expensive. And they were just giving away Reapers one night. If you just walked in there and got something, they probably overmade the Reaper one and no one was buying it. And it's just going to go bad. So they're like, oh, we're giving out a free Reaper with every order. And I tried a little bit, but yeah, it was pretty tough to eat. I tried a little slice of it, and of course I wouldn't try to eat the entire, the nugget is like this big, it's huge. It's like a chicken finger. Pretty much, it seems like a chicken, like half of a chicken breast, So it's pretty big, and I just cut off, like a little thing. So, you've got this ring, and the Reaper is only at the edge, right? And it's all chicken. All the rest of it is all chicken, but I gotta say, it was still pretty damn hot. And it was pretty hot. Have the milk at the ready. They say the chip thing isn't as bad as the nuts because the nuts have oil in them. And then I heard that if you get the super mega hot, like this is the world's hottest, like, I don't know, it's like a cashew nut or something like that. Or it's like I forget the nut. It could be peanuts, but I don't think those sound too small. I feel like it's like cashew nuts or like walnuts or like a Brazil nut, like some big nut that has a lot of surface area. I heard those are vicious because the oil in the nut really gets that capsaicin going, right? We have a restaurant called Cook Shack. They make a chicken finger meal with a real scorpion pepper mix. Yeah, you have to sign a waiver. Yeah. I will say that, I just went to, Maddie's Hot Chicken or Hattie B's Hot Chicken in Nashville. And I just got, I think, the regular or whatever their hot was. I thought it was pretty damn hot. I thought that was pretty hot. I'm sure they if I went again, I'd probably get like medium. Just because, you don't want an unpleasant experience and you don't want your taste buds to get so overheated that you can't really taste the flavor anymore, They use a concentrate for the chips and the nuts. Yeah, that makes sense, right? They get like a super powder, right? There's a Reaper pepper in every bite. That's just it. I don't know if you guys knows Arnold, right? Arnold plays guitar. Like he went and got like the craziest Hattie B's. He's eating it. He sent like a picture. Like his eyes are watering, his nose is running. He's like, why do I do this to myself? I'm like, I don't know, man. Habanero, almost your food, but Reapers and Ghost are too much. Yeah. We have a pineapple habanero sauce that they sell at Costco that's both sweet and very hot, but it works. It works on pork outstanding, right? It's really good. It's spicy, but it's got flavor in the pineapple, which works really well with pork. You know. I want Mariah Carey to repeat her absolute, like, her New Year's Eve meltdown when she was out there and she didn't have like something in the right place, and she just walked around, didn't like, oh, here I am, oh, I'm here, wouldn't sing, wouldn't do anything. And the dancers all went through everything and they played the music in the background, and she was like, okay, goodbye. I was like, oh my God. Or even better, the night New Year's Eve is going to be like 50 to 60 degrees in the Northeast. So that, I don't know if they're going to have the rain down there, but a couple of years ago they had mega pouring rain. And out there is Steve Harvey looking like, are we really doing this? Are you really going to make me do this? And they made him do it. He was like, oh, I guess we're doing this. Oh my God, he looked so pissed off. Half the fun was just looking at how angry Steve Harvey was. Yeah, God. Oh, so funny. Yeah, he's got this big white winter coat. It's like 60 degrees out and pouring rain. And they've got this thing over him, and the rain is coming down so hard, and he's like, ah! You can tell he does not want to be there. This was the Christmas song I was working on. Till I ran out of time. So you have it made you to make it bluesy. Right, you hit that little minor note, the flat 3. What's that, Ben? You wanted me to run an ad? You got it, bro. All right, let me see if I can. Well, we'll do it at the end. I know, I need to write a Reggae Kiss song. God, I love Reggae Kiss. I can't get enough. And the funny thing is you listen to some of the early stuff, they clearly re-recorded it for the albums, because I heard an older version of Love Gun that they did. It wasn't nearly as good as the one that eventually made it to the record, right? The record production was much better, really good. I need to take a hash break. Well, I hate to break it to you, but and this is kind of guy. I actually quit. I actually quit smoking. I feel like I was, it was time. I'm 56. I'm going to be turning 57 next year. And I just feel like, I've just been beating the piss out of my lungs for too long. And that smokers don't live a long life. They live a short life, and the end of it's usually pretty shitty. So I made I'm quit. I've quit. I've been quit now for a little while. And, I could always go back, but I have no inkling to do it right now. I really just need to give my lungs a break, for a while. And I think so far, like, of course, the first week is rough because you're just, it's trouble sleeping and all that. But, I think that, I was wheezing a lot at night, and I was, I was congested all the time, and I was just like, this can't be good. This can't be good. And so people are like, oh, you should switch to edibles, but I don't like edibles. I just don't like them. Like, oh, you should switch to vape. I'm like, well, that's still a lung problem. It's still putting a beat down on my lungs, right? It's like, how about I do this? How about I just inhale air for a little while and we skip anything else just for a little while. Let's give them a little bit of a break and see how it goes. Because, I just feel like, the long-term prospects are not good. So, I just think it was time. And, and I think my body was sounding the alarm. I had a very productive cough. I was like coughing up phlegm like nonstop. And, it's my body it's like I felt like your alarm bells were ringing, and I was ignoring it. And I was just like, you know what? This is the exact type of behavior that you would absolutely murder somebody on. You would be like, you stupid dummy. You big fat dope. What are you doing? You have all these signs and you're just ignoring them. I'm like, don't be that guy. And I was being that guy. I was like, listen, hold on. Your body's ringing alarm bells. Your body's telling you all these things. You're having trouble breathing. You're wheezing. You're getting like asthmatic. What's going on here? And I just said, enough. So, exactly. Lungs are designed to process air. And you know what? The other thing that will blow your mind is if you ever look at smoke through like a, almost like, like what the slow-mo guys do, right? They break things down and you start to see things in ways that you can't see to the eye. Like if you've ever seen under a strobe light, you ever seen like water fall under a strobe light, you realize that what looks to you as a perfect stream is actually separate drops of water, right? Completely separate drops of water, but they're just going so fast you can't see it. Smoke is the same way. When smoke is put under it and you can actually see each individual particulate, you're like, oh God, that's just pure soot. And they're like, yeah, that's kind of what smoke is. It's just soot. It's like, oh God, that's probably not good. That's probably not good in the long term. So I'm just like, hey, you can always go back if you feel the need to. But why don't you just take a little break? And I tell you, it's been the best thing so far. Again, I'm not going to lie. The first week was kind of crap. You're more, because you're in a routine, right? You're just, especially after a meal or a show you like to watch, and you're typically, you're in a habit, you're in a routine. Once you break out of that, then you don't miss it. So, anyway. Besides, you know what helped me quit? That thing with the needles, heroin. I could think about nothing other than that. I tell you, I just completely forgot about the weed. Yeah, well, all my friends who were into harder drugs are dead. Fact. All of them. How many of them made it out? 0. 0.0. They are literally, every single one of them is dead. Overdose, car accidents, AIDS, because you start swapping needles, get AIDS. Those are the big 3. Cigarettes are the hardest to quit. They really are. So I know a friend who was like really addicted to cigarettes and alcohol, and put him in the hospital. And his addiction, they assigned him an addiction specialist. And you know what the addiction specialist had him do? Switch to weed. He was like, I would rather you switch to weed because it's going to keep the smoking going, but I don't want you smoking cigarettes. You're not going to smoke another cigarette. You can smoke weed, but you can't smoke cigarettes because I can get you off the weed a lot easier than I can get you off the cigarette. So we're going to step you down. We're not going to be cold turkey on cigarettes because I don't think we can do it. We're going to get you. You're not smoking any more cigarettes. You can smoke all the weed you want. I'm going to give you, go get your medical license. I'm going to give, you do that. And he did. And it worked. And he quit weed. Right? So it totally worked for him. It kind of makes sense. He's like, the addiction to cigarettes is actually far stronger than the addiction to weed. Much stronger. I don't know what's in cigarettes. I guess it's the nicotine. But it's pretty bad as an addicting substance. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Lost your dad to cancer? Yeah, I lost my grandfather to cancer from cigarettes. Absolutely from cigarettes, without a doubt. And at the end of his he went about 6 years with the cancer, and at the very end, he was in real tough shape. It was a horrible sight. So you can't help but think of that. He died at 56. I am 56. That does, he was diagnosed at age 50 and was gone by 56, lung cancer. So. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to get for Christmas this year. Anybody know anything on the... I don't think I have a guitar back there, right there. I'll probably do a video on it next week. That's not a Donner. It's a new brand. Like, I don't even know I can't even pronounce the brand. It's like a 2-word brand. I can't even think of it now. And then it's like Boyo or something. And then what else am I got the office chair, new office chair. You smoke both and you're 65. Pole saw. Damn it, bring that pole saw back. I hope we get an extended branch cutter. Yeah. Didn't ask for anything guitar related. Yeah. I generally don't Diabetes is genetic in your family. Yeah, I got to worry about that too. I've been losing weight though. Though you got to worry about that. You start rapidly losing weight out of for no reason. You might be sick. I never knew SFB was that weed free. It's new to me. Trying to wrap my head around it. I know. Well, you've known me for a long time too. Yeah, no, completely out. It's over. Yeah. Don't think less of me. Yeah, rapid weight loss is a symptom of diabetes. But what really happened was that I was just eating less. I was sort of doing like a daily fast thing. The Krell bar actually, Krell bar lost a ton of weight, probably 150 pounds, right? He really, maybe even more. He cut his body weight like practically in half. And he showed up. I didn't recognize him. I said, "Oh my God, Krell bar." He's like, "I know." He goes, and he did it through daily fast. And so I was doing that this year a little bit, doing the daily fast, just, trying to keep from eating for a good, you only eat in like an 8-hour window, and you don't eat in the remaining time. What's that, 16 hours of no eating, like anything, like no calories at all, like not even drinking like coffee, like nothing. And you know what? That really works. That really, really does work. And I know when I went to my doctor when I was doing that, not only was my weight down, but he said my blood sugar was like actually much better. So, and that's why I wasn't doing the late night stuff anymore, because I wouldn't drink coffee past 8 p.m. I would only eat or drink between noon and 8 p.m. So once we got past 8 p.m., I stopped consuming any calories. That really worked. I thought that really worked for me, for a while. I dropped like a quick 20 pounds. I'm probably down about 30 now. But, that's nothing when you're at my weight. That's a joke. Nothing any less of you. Very happy for you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, you could. Yeah, black coffee you can have, but I can't stand black coffee. It gives you dry mouth. I really don't like black coffee. I'd rather. You know what I like? I like ice water. I love ice water. Nice icy cold water, especially in the summertime. I was loving it. Just drink some water. You can fill up on water. You really can. And then very often I would have like a job to do, an IT job. So, I'm at the IT site at like 10 a.m. And I don't finish out. I'm not out until like 1 or 2. Now I can eat at like noon, but I'm out at a job site. I'm not eating at the job site. It doesn't work like that. So I just hold off until I'm done. I get home at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, from the IT work. And then, I have something to eat then, fine. But it's just, it's just so easy to get out of control if you just have no limits on when or what you can eat at all times, especially as you get older. When you're younger, I think you can get away with it more, but when you get older, you really can't. How did Alon get used to not eating breakfast? It's actually, breakfast wasn't bad for me. The mornings weren't so bad. It was at night, because I was, staying up late. So you have your last meal at maybe 6:30. And you have a coffee after that, and you're done like consuming your last calories by like 8 p.m., right? You're having your coffee, that's it. Now you get to 10 p.m. and you might start to get a little hungry, 11 or 12, and you really get hungry. But then when you go to sleep and I wake up, I didn't like to eat in the morning. It's only like about maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours after waking up. So if I went to bed at like, midnight or 1, and I was up at like, 7 or 8 in the morning, by 11 a.m., you're starting to feel it. That's when you would feel it, you know. But you wouldn't feel it like super early in the morning. And you wouldn't really feel it even in the early evening. It was really like when you after you've gone for a while. But sleep has a crazy way of like knocking that out. It really does. The thing I tell you what I liked about the intermittent fasting, you know, the daily fasting, whatever the hell they call it, I don't know. What I liked about that is that you didn't have to think about it. I'm not counting calories. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, maybe I should get this, maybe I should get that. No, you just don't eat between this time, and that's it. Period. End of story. Right? It's pretty simple. What time is it? Oh, I cannot eat. What time is it now? Oh, I can eat. It's literally that simple. Right? And the funny thing is that, and this is also true, your stomach shrinks a little bit. Little bit. And when you do eat, it doesn't take nearly as much to fill you up. Well, the paradox, right? Eating less, you fill up quicker. No, Zappa didn't die of colorectal cancer. I thought Zappa died of prostate cancer. Right, a little different. A little different. Hey, Tactical, what did you miss? That. There's no Buddy Cat or Cutie Boots. Where they at? Well, my daughter's home, so I'm going to guess Cutie Boots is up in my daughter's room. Because she was out in the hallway the other night crying. Ah! I opened the door and she went tearing into her room. Ah! I miss you. And then, what's his name? Buddy has been acting as my son's support cat as he goes through his viral infection, which is, if you weren't here earlier, is just absolutely god awful, and hopefully he's going to be out of it soon. We've canceled Christmas until he feels better. Oh my God, itchy eyes. Yeah, no, Buddy's a total support cat. He's like, if you're gonna stay in bed, I'll just stay here with you. I think Ben was even getting a little sick of him. Like, can someone take Buddy? It's like, enough. Show next week on New Year's Eve? Of course. What lazy son of a bitch wouldn't run a show on New Year's Eve? Come on, people! Of course. It's going to be my New Year's Eve ad spectacular. No, it's just on Christmas. Yeah, I feel like I have more energy since I stopped. Since I've just switched completely to coffee. Of course, Joe. Of course. Yeah. Now that I've switched to double espresso blend, it's funny because I've quit weed in the past. In fact, I stopped for about a year one time, and I was hanging out with a friend of mine, and he goes, "Did you bring any weed? You gonna smoke weed?" I said, "Oh, actually, I've actually quit now for at the time I think I had quit for about 8 months." He goes, "Really?" I go, "Yeah, my breathing is so much better." He's like, "Wow, that's crazy." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "So what did you substitute for?" And I go, "Oh, coffee. Oh, coffee." Definitely coffee was the substitute. You think it's the maple fretboard sounds better? Yeah, what are all the jokes? I'm not smoking weed anymore, but I'm not smoking it any less either. Right? Because you know who famously announced he quit and is back smoking again is Woody Harrelson. He told everyone, I quit weed, I quit weed. But he was smoking weed with Bill Maher on the Club Med program that he does there. Club Med, where they hang out and smoke weed. And basically he was like, yeah. He goes, "How long did you quit for?" He goes, "About 4 months." He goes, "Yeah, that's about right." I never really got that down. We'll see. Did Willie stop? Willie's so old. I mean, I got to think again. He just smokes so much. You just get so old. Your lungs they get beat down. They really do. So it's funny you say lungs turn into tonewood. The one thing that they have sort of they don't, there hasn't been enough study on weeds, even though weeds been around forever. You would think there'd be more studies on it, but there's no higher incident of cancer. In fact, and they're trying not to call it an anti-carcinogen, but they're basically saying that the people that smoked weed, not cigarettes, just weed, had a lower incident than even the general population for lung cancer, right? So, but they said they feel like the tar and the emphysema could be higher. But the one thing they have sort of attached to it is cystic fibrosis, right? Which is like it's basically a stiffening of the lung tissue on the inside, right? It becomes fibrous, right? It loses its pliability. It all just doesn't sound good. And I'm just like, again, try to use your head and just say, you know what? Maybe just take a little break. You can always go back, But I don't think so, Willie turns 90 in April. Wow. Yeah, we got a bunch of stuff back there. And I got that. I'll do a video on that next week. That is a new, I think they're another Amazon company. Another company that primarily sells on Amazon. Diamond Dogs, huh? I think I know them. And health class in the 80s, one joint equals 40 cigarettes. Yeah, that's what we call stupid math. If you look at like the number of drags that someone takes, if you're not smoking joints, like if you're smoking out of a bong, to me, it seems like that, the average weed smoker probably smokes about one cigarette. One cigarette is about 20 draws. You're smoking more than 20 hits in a day, I suppose, but I feel like that in terms of just like smoke into the lungs and exhaled, it's about a cigarette a day. But even that was too much for me. Had to put her down. I don't know any Ugly Kid Joe. No. Multi-rack. You know what? I do have one back there. I don't know what the brand is. I'd have to think about it. I feel like it's like the internal brand for like Guitar Center or like Sweetwater, or something like that. I don't own any ugly Christmas sweaters, though I should. I could have one made up, believe it or not. It's kind of a faux one. It's not a real sweater. It's basically a sweatshirt, and they make the pattern look like it's sewn in, right, like it's embroidered. But I think Teespring, I think they just call themselves Spring now. Of course, why not rebrand 10 years in? Um, I think they would do it, but you have to send up vector art. It's a little tricky. You need like vector art for them to work with it correctly. And, you know, I just don't know Adobe Illustrator enough to produce the vector art that they need. They give you a pattern that you can work with, and they're like, just take your item and put it over this and then subtract the background and all this. I'm like, oh, sure. Oh, sure. Why didn't I think of that? Hey, Mike. Have a good one, buddy. That's right. Mike is here. Mike was our big winner. Did you get the pick yet, Mike? Oh, he might have already be gone, but I'd be curious. I don't think the post office is working that fast, but it's on the way. Yeah, no, Mike's is out the door. I think I think that I got 7 out the door already, and I got 6 here ready to go. And one of them I have the address for, and 5 I don't. You need to see if I work with Illustrator all the time. Yeah, I just got to figure out how to, and I'm sure I can do it. I just don't. I'm getting better with it in Photoshop, like understanding the whole layer system, and then doing like a transparent background layer, and then like doing some sort of like magic wand grab around the thing and creating a vector, converting it to a vector. That's what I basically have to do, is I have to convert like bitmaps to vectors. Because without the vector, they can't scale it. No pot. What's next? The prayer hour? Pfft, no way. Now that's dangerous. What's your vector, Victor? Over. Roger. Hit me up. Yeah, Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, Premiere Pro. I remember InDesign when it was called Aldous PageMaker. I literally used to, we used to lay out the school newspaper using Aldous PageMaker. You guys want one more ad? All right, here you go. Shirley, you can't be serious. I am serious. And stop calling me Shirley. That's when my drinking problem started, right? Can't hit his mouth. Oh, that movie. That movie is just so classic. You know, I might be up tonight. We'll see. Right before I came on here, I realized we had no coffee, and I made a fresh pot. And, you know, not smoking, you know, you're not knocked out at night, so. I know, well, I wanted to make an ad to run, right? A spoof ad. But I just ran out of time. Again, just no friggin' time. Probably had to make that ad like over the summer. You know? Black Cat's probably up in Ben's room, buddy. Because Ben is so friggin' sick. So, and besides, we're not having Christmas tomorrow. We're postponing it until Ben gets better. So it's not like I have to be up early tomorrow. So the adpocalypse will continue into Christmas. My dad says you don't play hard enough on the boards. You tell your dad I bust my ass every night running up and down that floor. So am I in tune here? How good's my tune? Hold on. Damn it. Do. How good is my tune? Oh, way off. Can't use this guitar. Hold on. Because it's also in the Floyd Rose, and you know, you can't really tune with the Floyd, and yada yada yada, blah blah blah. I'll put this back right there. All right. You got this? Yeah. Oh, hold on. Yeah, there we go. That's better. I'll switch here. All right, here we go. Ugh. All right, hold on. All right, I make no promises on this because I haven't really practiced it like nearly as much as I would normally practice it. In fact, which means like more than like a couple of times just to get through it. So I don't, you know, I've made a few runs through this, but again, I'm making no promises on this. All right, so there you go. All right, hold on. We'll go to cam 2 so you can kind of see what I'm doing here. All right, here we go. All right, let's see if we can do this. Oh, hold on. Well, it would help if I plugged the guitar in. Where's my switch? Is it over there? Where'd it go? Thought I did plug it in. I did plug it in. Hold on. Why no audio? Guys, I still had the tuner on. There we go. Now we're in tune. And we have the thing. All right, here we go. It's time for real. Don't make me run another ad. I will, damn it. Okay, here we go. Oh, well, that was butchered pretty bad. Again, I needed like a dozen more tries trying to. Again, I counted about 1,000 mistakes. But you know, in another year, I'll have it down. I swear. Anyway, Merry Christmas. Thanks to everybody for hanging out tonight. Super extra thanks to anyone who contributed. I swear I'm going to spend every penny of those on smoothies for my son. Well, he can't eat any solid food until his friggin' throat soreness goes down. And you know what? I might be up later. Maybe I'll work on that tune a little bit more. We could try it again at the midnight hour. You never know. All right, dudes. No, you rock. Super thanks to everybody for hanging out. Super mega thanks to anyone who contributed. And of course, bro fist to my mod squad. Hashtag mod squad. And there you have it. No, you rock. All right, dudes. I will see you next time, maybe tonight, maybe a week from tonight. I will be here on New Year's Eve. I got nothing else going on. So I will absolutely be here. And I hope to see you there then. And there you go. All right. No, you rock. All right, dudes. And, maybe I will see you tonight. No promises, but you know what you can look forward to tonight? Just an ad before I go. Yeah. No, I apologize for that performance. That was actually pretty bad. But I will work on it. Damn it, and we'll figure it out later. I'm much better after midnight. All right. There you go. You rock. I will see you in the next one. And until then, rock on. And Merry Christmas.